You're tuned in to the DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is Jonathan Scribner, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast, the DMV's home for high school basketball. Hosted by Kurt Cris and featuring Chelsie Cross. We bring you the latest news, interviews, rankings, recruiting buzz, and standout performances from the public and private school basketball scene across Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Stream us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Buzzsprout, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Now, let's get into it. Here's your host, Kurt Cris.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. I'm Kurt Cris, as always, and she is
Chelsie Cross.
We are here at the Capital Hoops Summer League at DeMatha. We bring you the players, we bring you the coaches, the interviews, and right now, I'm going to tell you, we're bringing on a gentleman who, Coach, you don't even know it, but you and I have been in the same gym a million times, and we'll get to that in a minute.
All right.
He might not know who I am. Of course, I know who he is. Welcome to the podcast from Whitman High School, Cris Lun, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate being here.
Coach Lun, I'll tell you about the history while we've been in the same gym. I coached for 24 years. You and I never coached against each other. I was always on the girls' side. I coached anywhere from high school to college basketball. But when I came over to Montgomery County, I could never beat the damn Whitman team, JV or varsity. How many years in a row did that JV girls team go undefeated? Because I know at least two of those seasons I was at Churchill and I could never beat them.
I think they're on a nice little string right now. I don't think they've lost in at least 5 or 6 seasons. They've still kept it going. Coach Witt's doing a really good job over there. Coach Canal runs the girls varsity program, and
that guy over there, that guy is something, huh?
Yeah,
Canal.
good friend of mine, does a really good job.
You know, there was a coach who coached at Wooten at one point on the JV side when I coached Churchill JV. And this was years ago, and this wasn't something that normally happened. He called me and wanted to go to lunch so we could figure out how to beat Whitman. He's over at Oakdale now, the head girls coach at Oakdale.
Okay.
I can't recall his name right now.
I'm going to have to share that story with Coach Canal if you don't mind.
Please do.
Let him know
do.
that people are planning lunches to find a way to beat their JV team. That's amazing.
We met at Jerry's in, where's that, the donut spot up there by Shady Grove? You know the donut.
I do. Is it Falls Grove?
Yes.
No, maybe not.
Yeah, it might be. But we met for lunch up there because he was trying to figure out how could we beat Whitman.
I hope you had a good lunch.
Because we didn't beat Whitman.
That's fine. Take 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2.
Coach, you always find yourself on the big stage. I've been a fan for a long time. Never got to see many of your games because, as you know, at least in Montgomery County, when your boys are playing, our girls are playing somewhere else. So we never got to see you on the rare occasion late season when there's a boys-girls doubleheader, right?
Yep.
I may have gotten to see you, but I was at Churchill, I was at Rockville, all of those places. 20 years. Only Harwood has you beat right now, I think.
I'm number 2 in Montgomery County as far as tenure goes behind Coach Harwood.
And he's never going to leave.
Coach Harwood has at least one more year, but he says that every year. So, you know,
Right.
He's got at least 1 more, 2 more, but he's done a great job at Magruder, and it's an honor to say that I'm, number 2 behind him as far as longevity goes in the county. It means a lot.
And, when he found himself at UMBC this past year, the thought was if he wins, is he going to stay? But I think he's stepping away from his teaching duties.
He has 2 more weeks of teaching, and he's going to retire from teaching. He's going to coach for at least 1 year, just being a coach.
Right.
See how that goes. I know he's got 6 grandkids in the area that he's really excited to spend more time with. So,
right.
I mean, he's had a great career. So whatever he decides, we support.
Coach, you find yourself regularly with 20 wins or more. Why this summer league? This is the year where I've seen more Montgomery County teams in this league than ever. There's Wooten, there's Whitman, there's RN, there's WJ, there's BCC, there's Damascus.
Blake.
Blake.
Churchill.
Wow, 8. I had 7. He has 8. Yeah.
Seneca Valley.
9 teams. And we only had 25, 26 high schools in the county.
Yeah.
So over a third of the county, years ago was 2 or 3 teams.
Right.
Last year it was maybe 4 or 5 teams. Now we've got 8, 9 teams in this league. Why? Tell me why.
Well, we're proud. We're one of the first county teams to come down, and we've been in the Capital Hoops Summer League ever since they started. You know, Mark Stearns let us come in, and we feel like we love coming here every summer because we get to play against different teams. I know that Coach Breslaw, who RM's another one, I don't know if you said that, but Coach Breslaw helps with the scheduling. So they do a really good job making sure we don't play that many of the other Montgomery County teams.
I mean, it only makes sense.
Yeah, which is good. But the competition we get on a yearly basis down here, we really do think that helps pay dividends in March when we're playing the playoff games. And we go to pretty good holiday tournaments at the Governor's Challenge in Salisbury.
Right.
So we think that competition really does help us come playoff time in the regular season.
Now, I'm going to date myself, but I think Duke Beatty is no longer around, right?
Duke Beatty is no longer there. Jeff Sullivan is now the head of MCPS Athletics.
Okay, so in my day, you played 20 games, and then you can play 2 IBO tournament kind of games.
Still the same.
Still the same. Okay, so you get those 2 at the Governor's Challenge.
We do. Correct.
Okay, excellent. And from what I see, down here at the Summer League, I mean, you can only play Blair, WJ, and RN, but so many times you want to see Heritage, right? You want to see Jackson Reed. You want to see those teams. How does that best prepare you for come November 15th?
It's great for us. We opened up against Bullis. So
I mean, they didn't make it easy, did they?
Nope. But you know what? We don't really care about wins or losses here. We just care about competing against the best teams and figuring out where we need to get better. And opening up with teams like Bullis is great for us. And then we've got Potomac School that we play. We get to play Coolidge from DC, which is somebody different. We beat Virginia Academy and Oxon Hill tonight. So it's just different teams that we get to see that, like I said, it just helps us. So come playoff time, our kids aren't intimidated by anybody. We're used to executing against physical, strong teams, and it just helps. So we appreciate the competition here. This is a great setup. We appreciate you guys and all the effort that you put in. It makes it a top-notch experience for the players and coaches.
So speaking of coaches, I notice some coaches stand, some head coaches stand, some coaches sit. You sit with your board. Why is it important to your assistant coaches and the players to see themselves in a position of leadership where they're leading this team or they see a different coach leading the Summer League team?
I think that's a great question and a great point. So I'm lucky to have Marty Lewis. He runs all of our off-season stuff. So he does the main coaching down here where he's up, standing. We just like to see, I don't want the guys to get tired of my voice. I don't want them to get sick of me. Just hearing it from somebody else who kind of knows how we run things and how we do things. It's nice. I can just kind of keep stats and kind of pay attention to the game from a different viewpoint than when I do in the regular season. So it just helps me get a gauge on, what we're doing well, what we need to do better. And I'm lucky to have a guy like Marty that I can trust who knows how to run the stuff that we run.
Coach, I don't know enough about you, though. Are you in the school as well?
I teach, I'm a 6th grade math teacher at Pyle Middle School, which is the middle school that feeds into Whitman.
So you mean you and I cross each other on Wilson all the time?
Correct.
My son's over at Landon.
Oh, Pyle is right next to Landon.
Yeah.
So you're the reason why the entrance is so backed up in the morning is what you're saying.
Coach, I'm just done with my 2 years on the board, and I was always there by 7 a.m., so
okay.
It wasn't me.
I'm just making sure.
But you had, what's his name? That was in the PE department.
Josh Creighton.
Creighton, you know Creighton?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, Creighton. So my wife taught with him. She's over at WJ.
Oh, okay.
My wife's over at WJ in the health department. But she was with Creighton at, was it Gaithersburg? Argyle? She was with him over at Argyle, I think. Coach, I'm looking at your interview card because Chelsie puts it together. I'm looking at, you were champs or finalists 4, 5, 6 times. Like, when does it get old to you?
So, well, it never gets old. So, we like to teach kids to play the right way and do things the right way. And obviously, you want to win games while you do it. So we've been fortunate the last 3 years to make it to the 4A state championship game. We've come up short all 3 of those years, but we're still proud of the work that our guys put in. And they play the right way. We play together. We move the ball. We take good shots, and we try to play tough team defense. So we found a recipe that's worked, and we're sticklers when it comes to sticking with that. And the guys this year are doing a really good job this summer so far.
Max Williams, is he a senior?
He's going to be a senior, correct.
I saw him last year at Summer League.
Yep.
He looked like a great player, just a tad bit raw. He doesn't look raw anymore.
Yeah, he's stepped up. He's going to have a good senior year for us. So he's actually developing into more of an on-floor leader that we really need out of him. He's becoming more vocal, but he's a good player, and we expect him to have a good senior season.
When it comes to MCPS hoops, you know, on the private school side, you have a whole bunch of transfers. I've seen a dozen transfers of named guys in the last week. You have to stick with, outside of a COSA, you have to stick with the kids that are in your region. Mm-hmm. How hard is that becoming these days when kids want to transfer out? And I'm going to, you know what, you coach in the county, you teach in the county, so perhaps you might want to be a bit more guarded with what you say. But how tough is it when parents' appetites are often bigger than the kids' even skill set?
Yeah, it's hard too, and the way college athletics are these days with the NIL and the transfer portal certainly doesn't make it easier. And you don't want to see that trickle into, you know, I get it can trickle into private school because, you know, kids can pick and choose where they want to go. Public school, like, there's a strict set of rules that coaches are expected to follow, and we shouldn't be recruiting kids that are not in our district.
Correct.
But it makes it tougher. You know, that's why we just try to explain to our kids, look, if we come, we play the right way, you'll have teammates that share the ball and find you when you're open. And, you know, we like to teach guys to play together, be enthusiastic about basketball and do things the right way. And if that's something they want to be a part of, it's great. And if not, it's just, you know, wish them all the best. And it's, you know, but I actually like, I don't want to be a recruiter. I like coaching the kids that come to you. I don't have time to go, I don't know how some of these coaches do it and go sit and get kids to come. That's not what I want to do. In public school, we don't have to do that. So I like coaching the kids that we have and teaching them how we play. And, you know, it's public school basketball. But I will say I'm really proud of Montgomery County basketball. I think year after year, I don't know what kind of rep we have throughout the state, but we got a lot of coaches that put in a lot of time, a lot of good players, and a lot of pretty good programs. So I'm really proud of where Montgomery County basketball is right now.
Before you say that, Chelsie, I'll tell you what it is. It's Richard Montgomery, Whitman, Blake. I mean, it's teams that are in the big dance when it counts, right?
Yeah.
I think at least half on the 4A side, there were two boys teams, right?
Yeah, it was us and Blake in the championship this year, right?
So, I mean, you have 50% of the entire state, from Garrett County to Kent County, Montgomery County represented, right?
Yeah, and Magruder there this year. You know, Kennedy's program is taking a big step up. Coach Meyer's done a really good job with them. And then Coach D at Poolesville's got Poolesville much improved. They're competing. And then even, like, you know, the teams like the Churchills, WJs.
Watch out for Coach Ryder over at WJ, right?
Yeah, so they've got a good team. They got a couple of nice athletic pieces. So, you know, the county's in a good spot.
Absolutely.
Whitman is not a private school, but I've seen your social media, I've seen the things you guys do, and I've seen that website. It's something that I don't see in public school programs. You have bios on all the players, you have your camp up there about the coaches, all of this stuff. What does that mean to the Whitman program? Why do you do that? And kind of what is Whitman's why? Why are you guys always in it? Why do you care so much about these kids personally? What does Whitman do for you?
So the thing I like to say, and I've been at Whitman I just finished my 21st season, if we want the guys to be proud of the program they play in and give their all, well, then they should expect and demand the same from me. So I'd like to make them feel like it's something that's really important, that we play the right way. So I spend all the time, I update the website. I put a game program together for every single one of our games. We're helping promote things on social media. We want them to feel like they're playing for a program.
That's why you can't recruit.
That's correct. I don't have the time, nor would my wife let me go around and do that. So, but I like to make the guys feel like it's important, and so I put time in, and I'm big on loyalty, so I'm not going anywhere. So I just, you know, we want guys to know that if they choose to come play for us and they're in our district, that we care about not only them as basketball players, but our job is to prepare them for the next steps when they become husbands and when they have jobs. Like, you know, doing things the right way. It's the little things, taking care of business. It's really important to us, and I do think that stuff has an impact on how well you play on the court. If you're turning your homework assignments in on time and you're listening in class and you're showing that you're trustworthy, then, you know, that carries over to crunch time on the court in big games. So,
Coach, are you from the area?
I am.
Where'd you go
I'm
to
a
school?
Montgomery County product. I went to Seneca Valley High School in Germantown.
Seneca Valley, all right. So you know the Cherry Boys and all
The
that.
Cherry Boys, I do. I went to Chris Cherry was in my. Jimmy Cherry was older than me, but Chris Cherry was class of '95. Correct. That's what I was.
And you know the Shanguras folks.
Coach Chang. Coach Chang was the football coach when I was there.
What about Terry Shanguras, the daughter?
Yeah. Terry's Terry was the head coach.
Who was the daughter?
He had Karen Changuras was the wife, but he had a stepson, Brian Fleury, played. He had TJ Changuras.
I'm talking about the older Changuras. They had a sister. She was like my gym coach at Blair.
Oh, wow.
Back in the 80s.
Okay.
So that's where I'm dating myself
Yeah,
there.
the Changuras, that's a big Seneca Valley family, yeah. When I was in high school, the football team, 92, 93, 94, went back to back to back. So I was a sophomore, junior, and senior that year. So it was a good year for...
Seneca is the only football game where I ever got hurt. There was some big boys up there.
Yeah.
There was some big boys up there.
Yep.
Coach, and there's two things. I think she wants to ask you who you want to highlight, right? Yeah. And I want to ask you, why should someone find themselves at Whitman in December watching a game?
I think, high school basketball in itself, I tell people all the time, for $5 to get in, it's pretty good entertainment value. So I think the one thing we like to say about Whitman is, we think we play the right way. We space the floor, we move the ball, we're communicating on defense, we play at a fast pace. The guys have good energy. It's a fun style, and when the kids buy in and play the right way, it's led to some pretty successful seasons for us. So I'm certainly grateful to have the position that I have, and I never take it for granted, and I hope the guys enjoy playing in our program.
It might be tough, the question I'm going to ask. Who do you want to highlight as a player in your program, and why?
Who should we be looking out for this year? Or two or three players?
Yeah, so first I think, Max Williams is a player that came to us his sophomore year. He was at Gwynn Park as a ninth grader, and we're lucky that he came to us. And, it's hard to learn the style that we play, and it takes a while to get used to. But Max is a perfect example of somebody who's come in and he fits right into how we play. He plays the right way. He was first team All-County for us last year. Honorable mention All-Met. He was named first team All-State by the NBCA just this past month, so we're looking for him to have a big senior year. Jack Wills is another player for us who, unfortunately, he would have been a starter for us last year, but a football injury. He had to have shoulder surgery, so he's coming back for his senior year for us, so he'll be a nice person to keep an eye on. And then, we have a freshman, Rowan O'Brien, who's got minutes for us last year. He'll be a sophomore this year, getting more minutes. And I think a perfect program type guy for us is a guy like Brady Miller, who comes in every single day, works hard, plays the right way, and he's get a chance to get a lot of minutes for us this year. But he plays the right way. He's a great teammate, and just plays the Whitman way. So those are some guys that I'm really looking for. And obviously I'm proud of our entire team, but I could go through and list the entire roster. But yeah, we're excited. We have a good group this year, and we're just excited to get on the court, and we're enjoying the competition down here in the summer, and ready for another season come the wintertime.
He's no stranger to UMBC, no stranger to Towson, no stranger to Xfinity Center. He finds himself playing in March every year, and we appreciate having you on the podcast. This is Coach Cris Lun. Him and I probably pass each other on Wilson Lane every now and then. This is the DMV Hoops podcast with the Whitman program. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you guys for having us. Really appreciate all the work you guys do, and thanks to Capital Hoops for putting on a great summer league.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for tuning in to the DMV Hoops podcast, your home for high school basketball coverage across the DMV. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share this show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube, Buzzsprout, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Follow us on Instagram and X at DMV Hoops Podcast. The DMV Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kurt Chelsie, featuring Chelsea Cross. Thanks for listening.